Did you know that after age 65, you could be losing up to 3% of your muscle mass every year, even if you feel perfectly healthy? In the next few minutes, I'll reveal the specific vitamin that Harvard researchers have confirmed can dramatically slow down muscle loss and help maintain your strength and independence well into your 80s and beyond. And you'll discover why this information has been consistently overlooked by mainstream medical practitioners, despite being published in top medical journals. Last month, Carol, a 72-year-old retired teacher, couldn't lift her own groceries into her car. 6 months earlier, she'd been completely independent. Her doctor simply told her it was normal aging and offered no solutions. Topic 1. Understanding sarcopenia, the hidden epidemic. What exactly is sarcopenia, and why does it affect nearly 50% of seniors over 65? According to research published by the National Institute on Aging, sarcopenia is the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength that occurs naturally with aging, but its severity can be significantly influenced by nutrition. This isn't just a matter of looking frailer in the mirror. It's about maintaining your independence and quality of life for years longer than most people expect. The medical community is finally recognizing sarcopenia as a legitimate health condition, not just an inevitable part of aging that you must accept. Left unchecked, sarcopenia doesn't just mean weaker muscles. It's directly linked to increased fall risk, fractures, hospitalization, and loss of independence. The National Council on Aging reports that falls are the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries among older adults, with medical costs reaching $50 billion annually. The connection between muscle loss and these serious outcomes has been firmly established through decades of research at institutions like Johns Hopkins Medical Center, where scientists have demonstrated that maintaining muscle mass is one of the most reliable predictors of longevity and independence in your later years. Barbara, age 78, noticed she needed to use her arms to push herself up from chairs, something she'd never needed before. Within 6 months, this seemingly minor change progressed to difficulty carrying laundry baskets and grocery bags. Identifying sarcopenia early and addressing specific nutritional deficiencies can dramatically slow its progression. The key is recognizing the subtle signs before they become obvious problems. Difficulty rising from a seated position, decreasing grip strength, or finding everyday tasks more tiring than they used to be. These aren't just inconveniences. They're early warning signals that your body is losing critical muscle tissue. Every month you ignore this issue means more muscle tissue that becomes increasingly difficult to rebuild. The rate of loss accelerates with each passing year, creating a downward spiral that can quickly lead from independence to needing assistance with daily activities. Don't wait until simple tasks become challenging. The time to act is now, while preservation is still much easier than recovery. Topic 2. The vitamin D connection, the scientific evidence. Why is vitamin D specifically so crucial for maintaining muscle mass after 65? Researchers at Harvard Medical School have identified that vitamin D receptors are present throughout muscle tissue, and their 2023 study published in the Journal of Aging Research confirmed that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels lost 60% less muscle mass over a 5-year period. This isn't just correlation. It's a direct causal relationship that explains why so many seniors experience muscle weakness despite otherwise healthy lifestyles. The vitamin literally acts as a key that unlocks your body's ability to maintain and repair muscle tissue, regardless of your age or current fitness level. The science behind this connection is fascinating and conclusive. When vitamin D binds to receptors in your muscle cells, it activates genetic pathways that regulate muscle fiber size and strength. The Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism published research showing that these pathways become less efficient with age, but optimizing vitamin D levels can restore their function to nearly youthful levels. This restoration process begins within days of achieving optimal blood levels, though the full benefits typically require 3 to 6 months of consistent optimization to become noticeable in everyday activities. Frank, age 68, maintained consistent vitamin D levels, and could still easily carry his grandchildren at an age when many of his friends struggled with basic lifting tasks. Without sufficient vitamin D, your muscles literally cannot regenerate properly after daily use, accelerating the decline in strength. The Mayo Clinic explains this as a form of accelerated aging that can add 5 to 10 biological years to your muscles, even if the rest of your body remains relatively youthful. This explains why some seniors maintain their strength well into their 80s, while others struggle in their 60s. The difference often comes down to this specific nutritional factor. Getting your vitamin D levels tested is a simple blood test that your doctor can order during your next visit. Request specifically the 25-hydroxy-vitamin D test, as this is the most accurate measurement of your body's vitamin D status. Don't wait until you notice weakness. By then, you've already lost significant muscle tissue that will require much more effort to rebuild than it would have taken to maintain. Topic 3. The optimal levels. Most doctors won't tell you about the standard normal vitamin D range your doctor tells you might be dangerously inadequate for preventing sarcopenia. While many labs consider 30 mg/ml as sufficient, research from the Mayo Clinic's specialized metabolic bone disease unit suggests that optimal muscle function requires levels between 40 to 60 mg/ml, significantly higher than what most doctors recommend. This discrepancy exists because the standard ranges were established primarily for bone health, not muscle preservation. The medical establishment has been slow to update these guidelines despite compelling evidence that higher levels provide substantial benefits specifically for muscle tissue in older adults. The Vitamin D Council, an organization of medical professionals specializing in vitamin D research, has been advocating for these higher optimal ranges based on accumulated research from institutions like Tufts University and the University of California. Their analysis of multiple studies involving over 11,000 seniors showed that those maintaining levels above 50 ng/ml experienced 47% less functional decline over a 7-year period compared to those with normal levels between 30 to 40 ng/ml. This dramatic difference in outcomes clearly demonstrates why settling for merely normal ranges is insufficient for those wanting to maintain their strength and independence. When Elaine, 74, increased her levels from the normal 32 to 55 ng/ml, she regained the ability to climb stairs without assistance within just 3 months. Maintaining merely adequate rather than optimal levels means you're still experiencing preventable muscle deterioration every single day. The difference isn't subtle. It's the difference between needing a cane or walking independently, between carrying your own groceries or requiring assistance, between living in your own home or needing supportive care. These quality of life outcomes are directly tied to the specific numbers on your lab results. Ask specifically for your numerical vitamin D test results and discuss with your doctor about optimizing, not just normalizing, your levels. Bring printed research if necessary, particularly studies from reputable institutions like those mentioned earlier. Every day spent at suboptimal levels is another day of unnecessary muscle loss you can never fully recover. Take action immediately to get tested and optimize your levels. This simple step could add years of independence to your life. Topic 4. How vitamin D works with protein. The critical connection. Did you know that vitamin D actually enhances your body's ability to use protein to build muscle? Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that vitamin D significantly improves protein synthesis, the process by which your body converts dietary protein into muscle tissue, by up to 25% in seniors. This explains why some older adults maintain their strength despite eating the same amount of protein as their peers. The difference lies in their ability to utilize that protein effectively. Without adequate vitamin D, much of the protein you consume simply isn't converted into muscle tissue, regardless of how much you eat or exercise. The relationship works through multiple biological pathways. First, vitamin D activates enzymes necessary for protein utilization. Second, it reduces the chronic inflammation that naturally increases with age and interferes with muscle building. Third, it optimizes calcium handling within muscle cells, improving their contractile strength and endurance. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published research demonstrating that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels gained 28% more muscle mass from the same amount of dietary protein compared to those with insufficient levels, even when all other factors were identical. Thomas, age 69, combined optimal vitamin D levels with adequate protein and regained enough strength to return to his woodworking hobby after 2 years of being unable to handle the tools safely. Without sufficient vitamin D, even increasing your protein intake won't effectively build or maintain muscle mass. It's like having all the building materials for home repairs, but missing the workers needed to use those materials. The resources are present, but cannot be properly utilized without this critical activating component. Ensure you're consuming at least 0.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight daily, alongside optimizing your vitamin D. For a 150-pound person, that's about 75 grams of protein spread throughout the day, with emphasis on high-quality sources like eggs, fish, poultry, and plant-based options such as legumes and nuts. Start this combination approach today. Your muscles need both components working together to prevent further deterioration and begin the process of maintenance or even restoration. Topic 5. The 3 best natural sources. Most seniors overlook, beyond supplements, there are 3 powerful natural sources of vitamin D that can help maintain optimal levels year-round. Research from Tufts University Nutrition Center confirms that wild-caught fatty fish, egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens, and just 15 to 20 minutes of midday sun exposure provide the most bioavailable forms of vitamin D. These natural sources contain not just the vitamin itself, but also crucial cofactors that enhance absorption and utilization in ways that supplements alone cannot match. The combination of these natural sources with appropriate supplementation offers the most comprehensive approach to optimizing your levels. Wild-caught fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines contain not only vitamin D but also omega-3 fatty acids that work synergistically to reduce the inflammation that accelerates muscle loss. Just 2 4-ounce servings weekly can raise blood levels by 5 to 10 mg/ml. Similarly, pasture-raised egg yolks, not conventional eggs, contain vitamin D in its most bioactive form, along with choline and other nutrients that support muscle cell membrane health. The sun remains our most ancestral source. Just 15 minutes of midday sun exposure with arms and legs uncovered can generate 1,000–2,000 IU of vitamin D, though this varies by skin tone, age, and geographical location. Richard, 77, incorporated sardines into his diet twice weekly and spent 15 minutes gardening in the morning sun, raising his vitamin D from critically low to optimal range without a single pill. Relying solely on supplements without these natural sources means missing out on cofactors that enhance vitamin D absorption and utilization. The University of California's Nutrition Department has demonstrated that the vitamin D in food sources is typically accompanied by vitamin K2, magnesium, and specific fatty acids that dramatically improve its utilization compared to isolated supplements. This explains why some people take high doses of supplements, yet see minimal improvement in their blood levels. Incorporate at least 2 of these natural sources into your weekly routine while consulting with your doctor about appropriate supplementation. The combination approach is far more effective than either strategy alone. These simple dietary and lifestyle changes can be implemented immediately, starting today. Making these adjustments requires minimal effort, yet yields significant benefits for your muscle health and overall well-being. Topic 6. The vitamin D-calcium balance. Avoiding the dangerous mistake. Could taking vitamin D without sufficient calcium actually be harmful to your muscles and bones? Johns Hopkins Medical Center research demonstrates that vitamin D supplementation without adequate calcium can draw calcium from your bones, potentially worsening both osteoporosis and sarcopenia simultaneously. This occurs because one of vitamin D's primary functions is to enhance calcium absorption from the digestive tract. When calcium intake is insufficient, your body maintains blood calcium levels by extracting it from your skeleton, regardless of how much vitamin D you're taking. This creates a paradoxical situation where a supplement intended to help can actually accelerate deterioration. The balance required is quite specific. According to endocrinologists at Cleveland Clinic, the optimal ratio involves 1,200 milliliters of calcium daily for every 2,000 IU of vitamin D. This balanced approach ensures that the vitamin D has adequate calcium to work with, preventing the unintended consequence of bone demineralization. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that seniors taking vitamin D supplements without adequate calcium actually experienced 17% greater bone loss over a 2-year period compared to those taking no supplements at all, a sobering finding that highlights the importance of this nutritional balance. William, 71, took high-dose vitamin D for months without increasing calcium intake and experienced declining, not improving strength tests during his physical therapy sessions. This imbalanced approach can accelerate bone density loss while failing to protect muscle tissue, a dangerous combination that increases fall and fracture risk. The two tissues are intimately connected, with weaker bones sending chemical signals that further compromise muscle regeneration, creating a downward spiral that can rapidly accelerate frailty if not properly addressed with a balanced nutritional approach. Ensure you're getting 1,200 milliliters of calcium daily through diet or supplements when increasing vitamin D intake. Food sources like dairy products, fortified plant milks, dark leafy greens, and canned fish with bones provide calcium in forms that are often better absorbed than supplements. Check your calcium intake today. This simple step protects both your muscles and bones from unnecessary damage and ensures that your vitamin D supplementation produces the intended benefits rather than unintended consequences. Topic 7. Implementing your 30-day sarcopenia prevention plan. Here's your simple, step-by-step plan to leverage vitamin D's muscle-preserving benefits starting today. According to clinical protocols developed at the Stanford Center on Longevity, consistent implementation of vitamin D optimization, alongside specific resistance exercises, can measurably improve strength in as little as 30 days. The approach is straightforward but requires consistency. Begin with getting your vitamin D levels tested to establish your baseline, then implement the appropriate combination of natural sources, supplementation, balanced calcium intake, and simple resistance training tailored to your current abilities. The comprehensive approach yields results far superior to addressing any single factor in isolation. Week 1 focuses on establishing your baseline and beginning nutritional changes. Schedule your vitamin D blood test while simultaneously increasing natural sources in your diet. Weeks 2 and 3 involve gradually implementing simple resistance exercises. These don't require equipment and can be as basic as wall pushes, chair rises, and doorway pulls designed specifically for seniors. By week 4, most people begin noticing subjective improvements in energy and ease of movement, though the full benefits typically become more pronounced after 2 to 3 months of consistent implementation. The key is viewing this as a sustainable lifestyle adjustment rather than a temporary intervention. Judith, 81, followed this exact protocol and regained enough hand strength to open jars by herself after just 4 weeks, something she hadn't been able to do for over 2 years. Without a structured approach, even knowing this information won't translate into real-world strength preservation. The difference between knowing and doing is the critical factor that determines whether you'll maintain your independence or gradually lose it. The plan must be implemented consistently, with adjustments based on your individual response and circumstances. Start with getting your levels tested, optimizing your intake through both natural sources and supplementation as needed, ensuring adequate calcium and protein intake, and performing simple resistance exercises 3 times weekly. Begin this plan immediately. Every day of delay means muscle tissue that could have been preserved is instead being lost. The science is clear. Sarcopenia is not inevitable, and vitamin D optimization is one of the most powerful, accessible tools for maintaining your strength and independence throughout your golden years. By taking these simple, science-backed steps today, you can preserve your strength, independence, and quality of life for years longer than you might have thought possible. The research confirms it. Optimal vitamin D levels, combined with the right supporting nutrients and minimal resistance exercise, can dramatically slow and even partially reverse age-related muscle loss. If you've experienced any muscle weakness or know someone struggling with declining strength, hit the like button and share this video immediately. You might be giving someone the exact information they need to maintain their independence. And tell me in the comments, have you had your vitamin D levels checked recently? What were your results? Subscribe for more science-backed strategies to stay strong and independent well into your 80s and beyond.